Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I had an itch right before the camera kicked on. It happens. What you gonna do? So it's Friday. There. So much for the itch. We made it to Friday. Yay us! Yay us! And I think today's card is going to be a confirmation of a lot of things we've talked about this week, which is good. Which is good. Today is the first of 2 days of Rummage-O-Rama. We're at it again. We took July off because we were exhausted. So we're back and reloaded. There is, every square inch of table, floor space, wall space, etc. is full of something. So if you're in the Appleton area, come and visit. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. Welcome. That's interesting. The counter didn't roll, but I see that you are here. Yeah, whatever. Technology. That also feels like a piece of what we're going to be talking about today, and an antidote to some of what people are experiencing. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome. Glad you're here. We'll let everybody pop on, and then we'll launch into our card, which again comes from the Nature Portals deck by Bruce and Carol Malner, which is one of my favorite decks ever, because the pictures are so beautiful, and I know the creators. That's always a cool thing. Before we get started, if we could rub our hands together, and let's send some healing energy. Healing energy out into the world. Good morning, Angie. We are sending healing energy. Good morning, good morning. So, first to my friend John, who passed out and hit his head in the bathroom yesterday, and his wife Lisa, who heard the crash. One of my other friends, Tracy, said, sending good energy to your wife heart, and I like that. Yes, your wife heart. It hurts when your people are hurting. So sending energy to him. Sending energy to all the peeps I know who've had surgery this week. A lot of them. So sending energy to whomever you desire to send energy to. My energy goes with. Sending energy to our hurting earth. The people who are struggling to find a path. There's a path, and today's card will be very helpful with that. Very helpful with that. So let's do a little breathing as well. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Oh, that felt good. Let those shoulders drop. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And we're going to do one more for good measure. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. That kind of slows things down, settles things down. And your name is rolling twice, so there's something good in here for you for this card. So again, let me show you. Nature Portals. Inspiration through the peace and beauty of nature. And that can be your little doses of nature, seeing a bird outside your window. It can be, I'm deciding to take a hike in the woods. Whatever it is, your little dose of nature. Here is our card for today. And if I had to guess, I'd say this one was taken in Michigan. Just because I have walked in the woods behind the motel that I owned, and there was an entire clearing filled with these little webs. And it was misty, and so they were sparkling in the sunshine. It was awesome. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So breathing yourself open to receive this message. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we're going to do a little guided imagery with this activity, this card today, because there's a paragraph in here that kind of does it, but I really want to drop us into it and have us more fully experience what this is like. So the card is, realize your place in the web of life. Realize your place in the web of life. Like the strands in a spider web, all things in nature are connected. And I'm going to say all things in our world and beyond are connected. Every animal and every plant relies on other plants and animals to survive. The web of life isn't a chain, and it's not quite a circle. It's a complex interconnection with all of life. So think about that. You are a part of a complex interconnection of all of life. Imagine if we kept that knowledge close to our heart. Good morning, Barb. Glad you are here. Here is our card. Realize your place in the web of life. So let's do a little activity that's going to help us realize our place in the web of life. So if you're able, I'd like you to close your eyes, not if you're driving, but close your eyes. Take a nice deep belly breath. Exhale and allow your mind to take you to a beautiful place. It may be a place that you're aware of, that you know of, that you've literally physically been to. It may be just a beautiful place created by your mind that's in nature. Good morning, Abigail. We're doing a little guided imagery today. So I want you to find a beautiful spot in that beautiful place to sit or lie down. And I want you to imagine sending a beautiful ribbon out from your heart space, good morning, Nancy, to something that you can see in this space where you are. Connecting that ribbon to whatever it is that you see in that space. And then I want you to ask yourself, how am I connected to this? So whatever is at the other end of that beautiful ribbon, how are you connected to that? I want you to feel into it. It's not so much an exercise in intellect as it is an exercise in heart space. How are you connected to that particular animal, plant, tree? Good morning, Carolyn. We're doing a little guided imagery here. What's your connection? And I want you to notice how it feels, any thoughts or ideas that arise about that particular thing that you've connected that ribbon to. Then from your spot in this beautiful place, I want you to send out another ribbon to something that you're aware of in that surroundings, that natural surroundings. Again, you may pick a tree, you may pick a smaller plant, you may pick a rock, you may pick a weed, an animal, whatever. And I want you to, again, ask yourself, how am I connected to this? This aspect, this creature of nature, this plant of nature, how am I connected to this? Notice that oftentimes you can find multiple ways you're connected. Feel into how that one feels to you. Breathing deeply. What are your thoughts and feelings and ideas that arise from your connection to that particular aspect of nature? And now a third ribbon. Send another ribbon out, connecting it to something in the vicinity, and asking yourself again, how am I connected to this? And don't worry, if you're connecting it to animals, those animals are still able to move around. It's like an invisible ribbon, an elastic ribbon. It can move with them and you, both growing. There's a good one. Yes. How are you connected to that? What are the feelings that arise connected to this one compared to the previous two? Notice that your connection may have some similarities, but it also may have some differences. What thoughts and ideas arise from your connection to that particular one? So I'm going to give you a moment here, and I want you to continue connecting those ribbons to other aspects of nature. Paying attention to how you perceive the connection, how you feel, thoughts and ideas that arise. And I'd like you to notice that as you're making these conscious connections, it begins to look like a web. And then you can think about the connections those make back to you, and the connections that the other aspects of everything that's on the face of Mother Earth has with you, the interchange between, no matter how distant it is, no matter how distant it is. Kind of that 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing, right? If it works for humans, it works for plants and animals as well. And natural features of our world. Mountains, lakes, rivers, the sky. And I want you to feel some gratitude for all of those connections, especially the ones we don't tend to pay attention to. Really appreciate all of these connections, because without them we couldn't exist. Sad to say, without us, they might have continued to exist. And I want you to think, I want you to ask, what's one thing that I can think or do or be that will help settle the natural balance between myself and all of these aspects of creation? What's one thing I could do? It might be the appreciation and creating a practice of appreciation every day. It might be starting to recycle if you don't recycle. It might be teaching this practice to someone else. Those of you who have grandchildren, sit them down and do this with them. Take them out into nature and have them sit and have them play this game of connecting a ribbon to each thing they see and then telling you how they're literally connected to this thing. Well, this is a plant and we eat this plant, and so it helps keep us alive. Or this is an animal and I like looking at the animals. Or this is a tree and we exchange life-giving breath with the trees. Whatever it is, help them begin to appreciate their place in the web of life. One more nice deep breath. Let it go. And back to the present moment. Maybe wiggling your fingers and toes a bit, bringing yourself back into right here, right now. And now we have a quote from Ted Perry. Whatever befalls the earth, befalls the children of the earth. We did not weave the web of life, we are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. And that's Ted Perry, and it says often mistakenly attributed to Chief Seattle. Regardless of who said it, a beautiful sentiment. What we do, that which you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me, right? So let's be very aware of what we are doing and what others are doing, because we have opportunity to speak to the actions of others when they're not honoring this web of life. So that's our Friday message. Spread it far and wide. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.